Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and we've got a very fun video for you guys today. I think we're all very excited about it. We are going to each give you our lists for the top 10 players in the AFC South. The AFC South is the division that consists of the Texans, Titans, Jaguars, and Colts. A lot of talent in that division. This should be a very fun video. We don't know each other's lists, so there's going to be a lot of surprises, a lot of maybe debate, questioning, and disagreement. But I think we're all good for we all like a little controversy once in a while. At least I know everyone at this table does. So in just a few moments, Tyler is going to get us started with his 10th best player in the AFC South.
All right. So as Ryan said, we're doing the AFC South 10 best player. That's from all 4 teams in the AFC South. Mine should be popping up on the screen behind us in just a moment, but it's taking too long, so I'm just going to tell you who my number 10 is. It's AJ Bouye, my number 10. Now, I think he's kind of an underrated player, and he's been a solid player for the past 2 years, obviously, with that Jaguars offense, or defense, rather, 2 years ago. Being so solid, he was a big part of that, and even last year when they struggled offensively, he was still a bright spot on their team. I think he'll be able to do that again this year.
Alright, so we're going to go over to my 10th best player in the AFC South, and I'm on the defensive side, but I got a different one. I've got Davey Clowney, defensive end of the Houston Texans, 10th best player in this division. Look, Davey Clowney was taken first overall in 2014. His career did not start off good. He played 4 games in his rookie year, but now he's been proven that he can stay healthy, he can produce consistently. I don't think he's quite living up to that first overall pick level that you want your first overall pick to play off. First rounder, maybe, but I just don't think he's been elite ever, which is why he's not higher on this list. But, I think he's just really done a great job battling back from injuries and gotten to a point where he's played in at least 14 games in each of the past 3 years. He's a guy that really helps contribute on the Texans defensive line, which I think is the best defensive line in that division, and really he's just a guy that's going to give quarterbacks a lot of trouble down the stretch.
Just like to point out, that was a big statement that he just made. Texans defensive line, the best defensive line in that division. Some good defenses in that division. Anyways, that's...
Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to go. You guys go like that, and then back. I'll be right back. But keep going. Just keep going. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, I don't know where the heck he's going, but I'm going to give you my number 10 pick, and this is the only Titans player that I have on this list. Now, I don't know if they have any Titans players on theirs at all, but I'm going to go with Taylor Lewan. Now, he is an offensive lineman for the Titans. Now, some people may know who he is, some people may not know who he is. The reason that he is on this list at number 10 is because he is a good player, but I don't believe that he's surrounded by enough good players to make him really shine. He's kind of like that one guy on that Titans offense that is just like a good player, and that everyone else is just mediocre and trying to keep up with just a lot of things. The Titans, as Ryan puts it a lot, the Titans are the definition of mediocre. Is that what you say?
I do. I do say that. Sorry, Titans, but that's just how I feel.
So Taylor Lewan at number 10 for me. Now I guess we're going back this way, so I'll give you my 9 here as I gotta pull it up because I forgot what it was. So give me a second here, and it is up. Okay, I got it. My number 9 is Josh Allen. Now I think Josh Allen is going to be a really good player, but the reason I have him at number 9 is because I haven't seen him play in an NFL game yet. Now, I've talked about Josh Allen a lot. I think he was the biggest steal of the draft. He's just a great player, in my opinion, fast, all those things. Got a great team around him. But just like I said, he's higher up because I haven't seen him play before. The other guys have shown the potential. He hasn't shown his. He's going to be a great player. I just know it. So Josh Allen at number 9 for me.
All right, so I guess because I really have no idea where Tyler is,
Yep.
but I'm going to give you my number 9, and my number 9 is a fairly household name, fairly well-known name. I'm going to give T.Y. Hilton, wide receiver for the Colts, the number 9 spot. Mainly, he just has had a lot of success with Andrew Luck for an extended period of time. Just looking at his stats last year, over 1,200 yards, only 6 touchdowns, which is a little disappointing out of a number 1 receiver. But, the chemistry he just has with Andrew Luck, especially in games in the AFC South, those are games that he shines the most, I feel like, and when I watch him. He's just a great guy, very fast, downfield threat, and really just has always been that guy for Andrew Luck that he can rely on. The Colts' number 2 and 3 receivers haven't always been the greatest, but Andrew Luck has always known that he could rely on T.Y. Hilton while he's healthy. That's why he's the 9th best player in this division.
I'd just like to say, I also think T.Y. Hilton is a great player. He would be at 11. He just missed my list.
Who was your 9, Jordan?
My 9 was Josh Allen.
Okay. Well, my 9 is very similar to Ryan's, actually. It's the same as Ryan's. I also went with T.Y. Hilton. Ryan just said it about the second-string receivers. I do think that's very important. He's always been able to rely on T.Y. Hilton. He's going to be able to do that again. T.Y. Hilton has been a solid receiver, good enough for the number 9 spot in this division. Very quickly said there.
All right, yeah, wow.
I'd like to ask
very
where
fast.
he went, but...
What?
I'd like to ask where he went.
I really had to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
You gotta go. So we're going to resume. I'm going to go with my number 8 spot. That's correct. That's where we're at.
Yep.
And
Is Tyler supposed to start?
Or you want to go?
I'll start.
Okay, yeah, you
I don't know how we're doing this.
Alright, we'll just go like this, and then back, and then I'll go, and we'll just keep it like that, how we were doing it right now. Anyways, so number 8. I'm going back to the Jaguars now at the quarterback position. Number 8, I'm going with Nick Foles.
Wow.
And by wow, I'm judging you guys don't think that he's on there.
I want to hear you. I want to hear you plead your case
I
first.
had him on my list, that's for sure.
I think Nick Foles is going to be a very good player this year. Obviously, what he did with the Eagles has been great. He has the offensive coordinator, I believe he has history with in the NFL. And I think he's going to be able to just carry on with the momentum that he's had. I don't think he's going to be like how he's been the backup that he's been for a while. I think he's going to be the new and improved Nick Foles. But this lacking receiver corps, but I still think he's going to be a solid player for the Jaguars and could do some really good things for the Jaguars. I think they're going to get a good deal out of how much they paid for him.
All right, so I just want to say real quick, that surprised me because personally, I don't know if Nick Foles is a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think he might be right around the 10 to 12 range, and Tyler has him in the top 10 in this division. So clearly, you have a lot of faith in Nick Foles. You think he's going to kind of recreate that success?
Not as much success, but I think he'll
Okay.
have a solid year and get himself into this category of the top 10.
All right, we'll see it. Well, I am going with for my number 8 spot a guy that is really one of the better defensive players, young defensive players in the NFL, the defensive rookie of the year last year, and that's Darius Leonard of the Indianapolis Colts. Second consecutive Colt on this list. He was just ranked at number 26 on the NFL's top 100 players. Huge accomplishment for a guy who's just coming off of his rookie year. I think the way that he was just a late round steal and impacted that defense was really just a great surprise. I'm looking at his stats here. I believe he had 7 sacks and 2 interceptions, so he can contribute, forcing turnovers in multiple ways. Lots of tackles, and just really a guy that just stepped up. I mean, there's nowhere else to put it. I mean, it's always next man up. It's not always going to be your first-round pick or the guy that everyone knows about going into the league. Sometimes there's just those guys that sneak in as sleepers and make a great impact, and Darius Leonard did that and a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Just to show that no one really knew who he is, and he's stuck in the league. He didn't even make the Pro Bowl, and that's fan voting.
Yeah.
That is just ridiculous.
I'm a Texans fan, and I will say that was terrible.
Yes. Well, anyways, moving on to my number 8. I'm going to keep this short and quick. This player's already been named. And my number 8 is Davey Clowney. Now, most of the things I have to say are the same as Ryan. I'm just a little bit higher on him. I think that if he decides to not hold out this whole year or get traded or whatever's going to happen with Jadeveon Clowney, as he makes a weird sound,
Drinking my water.
I think that if he stays with the Texans, this is going to be his year to prove it. And I think he's likes the Texans a little bit. I mean, I don't think he absolutely hates the team, so he'd probably want to prove it himself a little bit. But if he goes somewhere else, then he goes somewhere else, and should have made this list later. But that's my number 8.
Do you think he will go somewhere else?
I don't think he will go somewhere else. I think he's going to end up staying.
All right.
They have him on franchise tag for anyone who is wondering. That's why he's not very happy. So now I believe I'm going on to my number 7. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I gotta pull it up here because I keep forgetting who my stuff. Okay, My number 7. Now this one is going to trigger someone who's sitting directly to my right. So I'm just gonna say it. My number 7 is Deshaun Watson. Now
Wow.
before you say anything, do not get me wrong. I think Deshaun Watson is a great player. But the reason that I have him this high is because every person I have in front of him, I think they're all just really great, and it was really hard for me to rank this. And maybe I put him too high on this, like too high up on this list, more towards the top. But the reason I think that is because Deshaun, like I've been talking about, Deshaun Watson is a great player, but I feel like he still has stuff to learn. We all know about the playoff game last year,
Yeah,
but that's
we all
something to
do,
learn
definitely.
from. So he's a great player. I can't argue for why he's this high, but this is just my rankings, and the only reason I could argue for why he's up here is because the people down there are also really good. I think this is a really talented division. So
I feel like before I truly know how I feel about that, I gotta hear your next 6.
Yeah.
Although I do think he should be. I do have him going as a better ranking. So I'm eager to hear your next 6. So now it's my turn to go for 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My number 7 on my list, 7th best player in this division. I'm going with Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. I really think just with how Tennessee's offense has been so inconsistent. One day Mariota's on point, the next week he's not. One day the receivers get 100 yards, next week they get 2 catches. I feel like Derrick Henry's a guy that Marcus Mariota and that Titans offense was always able to rely on to really just provide somewhat of a spark. I think he was probably the brightest spot on their offense. Looking at his stats last year, over 1,000 yards. He had that insane 99-yard rush. That was one of the craziest plays of the year. And also, 12 rushing touchdowns last year. So I really think this is a guy, it's not just on paper. You watch the Titans game. I think he was probably one of, if not the most essential player to the offense. And I think Tennessee is a team that's got a lot to prove in the AFC South this year. And I think if they're going to have any chance of winning, Derrick Henry's got to perform.
All right, Derrick Henry actually missed my list barely. I would have had him at 11. I chose to put AJ Bouye over him. But now I will move on to my number 7 pick. And my number 7 pick is the same as Ryan's number 8 pick. I'm going with Leonard, the Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. That's pretty self-explanatory here. Obviously, winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, you have to be a very solid player, in which he was. Ryan said it perfectly. It doesn't have to be those first-round players, those really known players. He came from a little later in the draft and absolutely just dominated. One of the best players in the division last year. I think, to keep it short, he's going to be one of the best players again, and he could be even more dominant than last year. All right, so we're going to stick with me now, and we're moving on to number 6. I'm sticking with the Colts here, moving to the offensive line position. Obviously, it's going to be Quentin Nelson. Now, what Quentin Nelson did last year as a rookie was absolutely incredible. We haven't seen anything like it in a long time. That whole Colts offensive line was just really, really good at keeping Andrew Luck dry, no sacks were getting. He was barely even touched in the season. It was absolutely great. And Quentin Nelson was the one really leading that charge at a young age. And obviously, he didn't have much experience in the NFL last year, so now with more experience, he's only going to get better. And I just think it's absolutely insane how good he is going to be with help from the offensive line. Just going to make him even better. Quentin Nelson, number 6 for the AFC South for me.
All right, well, Tyler, I agree with you. I've got Quentin Nelson at 6'2", and really, you pretty much just hit it on the head. And I just want to add, as a Texans fan, trust me, I know how good that guy is. Jordan, on to you.
Well, I'm sorry to break this, but I don't have Quentin Nelson at 6.
That's awkward.
My number 6 is actually could be another surprise here, and this is Jalen Ramsey. Now, he could be a little bit. People would expect him to be more towards the. I'm just gonna say top is towards 1s and bottom is towards 10s because I don't really know what to say anymore. So people would expect him to be more towards the top of the list, but I just believe that he had a really good year. That year that they lost to the Patriots at the AFC Championship game, and last year kind of declined, and I just didn't see enough out of him. Even though he wasn't on a great team, someone of his caliber still should be putting up he's looking up Jalen Ramsey right now. I don't know if he's putting stats or something, but I think someone of his caliber should have done at least shown a little bit more, a little spark and stuff as he's looking at stats. He could correct me if I'm wrong, because I didn't look at stats. I made this list very fast, but I have Jalen Ramsey at 6, and I'm just gonna go straight to 5 here. And my
Well,
my
you
number
good?
5, yeah, I'm good, is